Hi, I'm Aaliyah Paulding. I'm the Director of Membership and Development here at PublicSource, and I'm here today with my colleague, Emma Folts.
Hi, I cover higher education for PublicSource.
And in that role, Emma writes about how our region's higher education institutions, what they're undertaking, how they're operating, what that means for their faculty and staff, their students, and our region in general. And all of Emma's reporting is made possible with support from our partners at Open Campus and through the support of our members. So I can't bury the lead here. We are so proud that you were awarded with the Lenfest Institute Emerging Journalist Award for 2023. Can you tell me a little bit about the reporting that resulted in that award and what the award means to you?
Absolutely, and thank you, Aaliyah. In the fall of 2022, PublicSource published an investigation called the Red Zone, which I worked on for a couple of months with my colleagues Mila Sanina and Stephanie Strasberg. And the Red Zone project explored sexual violence on our college campuses in Pittsburgh. And so over the course of the months that we reported on this project, we spoke with survivors to highlight their experiences and the structural issues that revealed about our universities, whether that's the campus culture or the systems that survivors have to turn to report their experiences if they choose to, and how those systems ultimately serve or fail to serve them. And so through those experiences, we also asked the universities tough questions about what they are doing to protect students on campus and ensure that survivors have a fair and comfortable experience reporting if they choose to. And so throughout that experience, we learned a lot about the problems that exist on college campuses regarding sexual violence, but we also learned a lot about what solutions they could implement to try to prevent this problem and to protect students. And so that was the reporting project that led to the Lenfest Award, which was a tremendous honor to receive. But I would not have been able to receive that without the mentorship that has helped me grow throughout my time at PublicSource. The award is for reporters with about 2 years or so of experience. And throughout that time that I've been at PublicSource, I've been so grateful to have such great mentorship and editors to look up to really help me learn how to tell these impactful stories.
Yeah, that project, we really heard a lot of meaningful feedback about it. I think it raised a lot of questions and it meant a lot to a bunch of different groups of people. You mentioned, with working with Open Campus, the model that you use is a little bit different than other journalists in our newsroom use. Can you tell me a little bit more about what it's like to work with them and also with our team?
Absolutely. So I have about 5 editors who I work with on a daily basis, both from PublicSource and from Open Campus. And Open Campus is a national nonprofit newsroom that partners with organizations like PublicSource across the country to mentor their higher education reporters. And the way that I like to think about it is that PublicSource provides the Pittsburgh expertise. We try to always have a better understanding of the community and get to know the issues that matter to our neighborhood. And then Open Campus provides the higher education expertise. And so when I go to them with story ideas or projects that I want to work on, I'm able to really hear a lot of mentorship and insight from my editors about, here is what this story or this project represents about these trends in higher education. Here's what we're seeing, here's how we're seeing this issue play out in other states or universities across the country. And then PublicSource is able to say, here's the history of this issue in Pittsburgh, or here are the community organizations or sources that you should look to for your story. And so their insights combined really allow me to have as much context as I go into a reporting project, which just allows me to feel comfortable in knowing my bearings and providing a piece of reporting to all of our readers that is as informative as possible.
Yeah, and hearing about that process, to me, I really feel like it connects directly to PublicSource's mission and the model that we use. But I'd love
Mhm.
to hear what you think how that connects.
Absolutely. Well, our mission is stories for a better Pittsburgh. And I think this model, as you said, really reflects that. Just because I have so much knowledge from my editors combined that I'm able to, provide stories that, are as informative as possible. But they also helped me learn how to take on investigations and learn how to do that. My editors at Open Campus, for example, have been very insightful about helping me identify sources of data that I can use to weave into my reporting, because some of the universities don't have to be as transparent with the public as other institutions might be in terms of the information that they share. To be able to work with my editors to learn how to take on investigations really makes sure that the stories that I'm telling are of service to the community by having all of the investigative resources at their disposal to help me throughout the reporting process.
Yeah, and I know that you also use some specific techniques in all of your reporting, but especially the red zone, like trauma-informed reporting. Could you speak just a little bit about that?
Absolutely. While we want to tell important and impactful stories, we don't want the reporting that we do to ever cause harm to sources who are in vulnerable positions. And certainly when I was working on the Red Zone project, working with survivors of sexual violence, we wanted to ensure that the way that we were going about our reporting, from the questions that we ask survivors to the ways that we identify them in the story, if at all, and to allow them to have as much control over the narrative that they were sharing with the public and how the interview process unfolded. That is all trauma-informed reporting, essentially providing as much control and control back to the survivor and ensuring that they are as comfortable and as informed as possible as the reporting process continues. So that was something that we used throughout the reporting process for the red zone, but that was also something that I really appreciated having my editors around me for as I went through it, to be able to ask them questions as I needed to and learn sort of the best practices in this area. So I was very thankful for our Open Campus partnership at that time, but also, PublicSource's support throughout that process.
Thanks for sharing that. I just want to highlight that all of Emma's stories, just like all of our stories, are available to the public with no paywall. And all of those stories are made possible by the financial support of our members. So if you value impactful journalism like Emma's, now is a really powerful time to show it. Through December 31st, all gifts to our newsroom are matched, and new monthly gifts are matched 12 times, all through the generous support of our match pool members. So please consider making a gift today at the link in the description of this video or at publicsource.org/donate. Thank you.